What's something about yourself that sounds like a complete lie but is 100% true?
So my dad is the oldest of 6 boys. The first 5 are from the same mom, and the last one is from a different mom. So to put this into perspective, my dad, the oldest, was born in 1972. The youngest was born in 1998. 97. Anyway, so I am my dad's oldest child. I was born May 19th, 1999. So that means that my uncle is a year older than me. And the best part is that last September, my best friend got married to him. So now my best friend is my aunt. And yeah, so...
When I was about 17, my mom quit her job. She gave her 90-day notice. She was a physician, and she just ended up wanting to move to a foreign country. I kind of knew it was coming, but I wasn't expecting it to come so fast. I thought maybe she'd wait till I graduated, but she didn't. I was in 11th grade, and I had to figure out where I was going to live. I thought I was going to live with my dad. Then my stepmom called me one day at Chipotle and told me she didn't want me to move there, so that wasn't happening. And then I thought about moving in with my biological father, but his wife believed in corporal punishment, so that was a no. My therapist never had kids, so she offered for me to move in with her, and I was like, that seems a little bit too weird. And so I didn't do that. And then I figured out a lot about emancipation. It's not a thing in Minnesota, so I got a power of attorney from my best friend's mom, and I basically just lived on my own for a year and a half with my brother, but he was basically useless. And took care of myself, took care of the bills, went to school, had a job. Yeah, became adult real fast.
I don't know why I'm saying this. No. Fuck. Whatever. Fuck it. YouTube. Brad Paisley, water. 2 minutes, 29 seconds in. You'll understand.
I have so many of these. This could be fun. Okay. My grandma won $1 million in 1977. She won it because the guy in front of her didn't like his number, so she just said, okay, I'll take it just to make it easier for him. Every time she did a scratch off, she never won less than $100. And when she went to sell her house, I think it was 2002 or 2003, she found out that she had $90,000 in stock that she didn't know about. We traced our family lineage to the early 1600s, and we discovered that every woman in our family from 1600 to like 1790 something was accused of witchcraft. My grandmother was a psychic, and her sister, my Aunt Shirley, was also psychic, but Aunt Shirley read tea leaves. I almost dated my own brother on accident. I've been able to read since I was 2.5. My sperm donor is so unstable, he once hammered a bullet into his leg, got treated at the hospital, came home, and proceeded to hammer a bullet into his other leg. I think we should just stop there for now, huh?
I'm mixed race.
As a Mexican, born in Mexico, with Mexican parents and spent most of my life living in Mexico, my Spanish sucks. This isn't a cutesy like, oh no, I speak better English than I do my Spanish because of all the time I spend on social media. No, I have the documents to prove it. Boom, I switched locations. Anyway, this is my certificate of proficiency in English that I got when I turned 18 and I was about to graduate high school. I got on my first try with 220 points, which means I got an A. And in case you're wondering, CPE is equivalent to a C2, which means I speak better English than the people who speak English. However, also in high school, I had the opportunity to get a scholarship just for my academic talent. But one of the requirements was that I needed to get at least 1,400 points in the Mexican version of the SATs. And I didn't get it because of my Spanish. I know I didn't do that bad, but it still haunts me to this day.
What's something about yourself that sounds like a complete lie but is 100% true? I'll go first. My dad and I both have a brother in the group LMFAO, so our siblings are party rocking together. Your turn.
I got a few of these. So I was flying from my dad's house to my mom's house, and my dad had paid for an unaccompanied minor ticket, which means somebody was supposed to watch me. But no, they stuck me all the way in the back of the plane next to some old man and did not check on me once. This dude kept telling me he wants to take me back to his home country in Morocco. I was pretending to sleep the whole time. He kept tapping on my leg, asking me to look out the window over him, dirty. He was taking pictures of me, telling me he was going to put me on magazines. When the plane landed, he was trying to get me to go with him to show him where his luggage was. I refused. Then when I got to the unaccompanied minor room, I told the lady and I just broke down crying. She called the NYPD. The NYPD called the FBI because it was in the air. They put me in the back of a cop car. They turned the lights on. We had to drive all the way to the international side. We were driving on the curbs and shit. FBI was taking down his description in their little book. They found my pictures in his phone. Damn, out of time.
I know I look crusty, but trust me, hold on. So one day I went on this date with this guy I met at the club. Trust me, I know, not a great decision. This was before I gave Jesus my life. But anyway, I go on this date with this guy and it's like not even a real date. We're just hanging out in his car. And then he's like, hey, maybe we should like go for a walk, find something like fun to do. So I'm like, yeah, like I'm not trying to be all hoish in his car. Don't judge me. Like I said, it was before Jesus. Anyway, we walked to this park down the street from his house and there's like this little trail that goes off into the woods. And he's like, yeah, maybe we should like go walk in there. And I'm like kind of fat and tired. So I'm like, yeah, let's just like sit here though for a little bit. And in the park, there's this little boy and his mom like playing over on the other side of the park. And the little boy comes over to me and he's like talking to me, telling me about his whole life. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. Then out of nowhere, the little boy says, my mommy says, I shouldn't go for walks with new people in the woods because they might kill you. Almost my own episode of SVU.
My mother stole me from the hospital. like, not like I'm not her kid. I'm definitely her kid. Look at us. We're identical twins. But she wasn't supposed to have me. So after I was born, the doctor said, oh, he's going to be blind in one eye and he has cancer, right? When they told my mom this, my mother said, the devil is a lie and you is his cousin, right? So the nurse was supposed to come pick me up so they could run more of these tests. The doctor leaves. My mom calls my dad. It says we got discharged. My dad knows nothing about what's going on. My dad comes outside. My mom just takes me and we leave. They thought she was missing. Then they found out the nurse never got me. They thought I was missing. They thought they lost a baby. But no, my mom just took me home. Both things turn out to not be true. Not blind, don't have cancer.
My doctor said I'm overweight. No way. There's no way. Girl. Right? You never guess.
There's
like,
no
what?
way.
There's never guess.
When I was born, my parents own nightclubs. So the first half of my life was like spent in that environment. My mom was the bartender. My dad was the DJ. All that jizz. And then when I turned 7, my dad pulled over on the side of the road and baptized himself with a bottle of water and closed everything down the next day and became a Pentecostal pastor. Yeah, so pretty interesting childhood. Pretty interesting.
Oh, hold on. I got this. So I have 2 sisters named Lisa. And they're both married to men named David. One Lisa is married to a man named David Wayne. The other Lisa is married to a man named David Dwayne. I can't make this up. I literally can't make this up.
I don't have a uvula. It was chopped off because when I was a kid, I got HPV from a Chuck E. Cheese ball pit, and so did a bunch of other kids, and there was a big lawsuit, and that's why there's no ball pits in Chuck E. Cheese anymore. And then when I was like 15 years old, an HPV thing like popped up on my uvula. It's not the first time it's happened. Well, it's the first time it happened on my uvula. Anyway, so they had to biopsy it, so they chopped it off. So now I don't have a uvula.
Before I was born, I had a stroke. Yes, you can have a stroke before you were born. Number 2, I can't throw up physically. Never had. Because I had my stomach tied. So I never threw up. So, yep. Hang on. I'll text you my drawing of Winnie Bird is. So cute.
I got fired for farting from Waste Management. There you go.
Every time I tell people that I go to the gym, they ask me, oh, for how long have you been doing it? I always tell them, hey, for like 7 years almost. And their reaction is always so shocked, like, no fucking way. And that's because I look like this. And I don't look like those Instagram models. So people just assume that you don't work out at all.